Welcome back to a new episode of the New Media. Levi, what episode is this?
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We never keep track of these episodes anyway.
No, we
I'm
don't.
your co-host, DJ. This is our co-host, Levi
Levi.
Hilton. Oh, I'm
God.
not speaking to the mic, actually. Levi Hilton, DJ Bernadette, your co-host over here. We gonna get right into it.
We in
Episode
person.
number whatever.
We in person.
Back in Broward. Broward Grim Reaper right here, Mo. Right here.
That's him. So if you have any smoke,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll use GPS to get to them.
He don't even know the streets for real.
I don't know the streets for real. I just shoot them. My fault.
You can't say that.
I can't say that. My fault. Anyways, we gonna get right into this
I have
episode.
to edit that.
You don't even. He's not even gonna edit that. That's a crazy part. Game 7 was yesterday, May 18th. Game 7 was May 18th, Sunday. Thunder versus Nuggets. I'm gonna just get right into that. They were going back and forth
Yep.
this series, obviously, because it's
Game 1. I remember watching Game 1. Them boys lost that lead. That boy Chet was out there looking like George Hill in 2018.
Mhm.
Chet.
And that's why even though you were saying that too when you tuned into the last. Well, you didn't watch it, but you saw the score around halftime.
Yeah.
You were saying that too, that you thought the game was over. I was watching it completely because I knew the Nuggets had made a comeback earlier in the series. It was a large comeback.
No, they did make a comeback.
Yeah,
But once I saw,
it was a large comeback.
Jay Will was playing good, I was like, oh, this might.
It was a large comeback. So I watched the full thing just in case, but that game was long gone. To put it frankly, the Thunder just defensively smothered them. Absolutely smothered them.
Straight clamps.
Yes.
Reminiscent of I don't know, would you say a 2013 Miami Heat team?
I was when I was watching it the other day. I wouldn't say 2013 Miami, but the game reminds me of Miami on their best defensive nights because you'll see them like players are just running around
when they actually remember
every single.
Oh, hold up. We're actually good at defense.
Yes.
You know, and
Like-
when they actually listen to Spo, because we like to blame Spo, but you can't control what your players do.
Their defense really did. The Thunder's defense really did just rely on an insane amount of rotations, nonstop.
I did watch the
nonstop
highlight
hustle.
clips, and I did see what you were talking about. They were running on screens. What's his
Nonstop
name? Who was guarding Jokic? What's his name? Alex Caruso. I saw some clips of him. I was like, oh no. Getting clamped by a guard is crazy. Jokic, LeBron would never.
I want to talk about it. Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams.
The backup center?
No, not the backup center.
Oh, you talking about?
He's a.
Yeah, he's
No, sorry. I'm not Jim. Not that one. Not.
Oh, my bad.
Bro, fake Warren, man. I'm sorry.
Fake Orman.
I gotta find him.
Is that the one he told to shut up and he was
He was like, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna find him. But anyways, just in general, like, was it Kenrick Williams?
Cameron? Or was it? Wait, look at the stats. Look at the score.
Carson? It might have been Carson Wallace.
Yeah, it was Carson.
It was Carson
He
Wallace.
did a
Yes,
dunk.
Carson Wallace. Carson Wallace. He had a poster on Jokic. Carson Wallace was playing, and I mean, if you look at like his stats, like they don't like immediately jump out to you, because they really weren't like anything crazy. 7 points, 2 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. But Carson Wallace, Jalen Williams, Lou Dortz, Caruso, non-stop switching, non-stop rotations, running around, constantly switching on to everybody. Especially a big shout out to Caruso, who had the matchup against Jokic.
I saw some clips of him guarding Jokic.
And-
He was doing his thing, bro. He was on him.
Yeah, I mean Jokic
was
still
on.
had a decent game.
No, he had a. As I
Jokic
told you,
had 20 on-
stat sheet wise, he had a.
But what needs to be pointed out, one thing that I saw that's very important, I forget the exact play, but I'm pretty sure out there it was Carson Wallace and Jalen Williams. They doubled Jamal Murray, way above the hash, like near the scorers table. They doubled Jamal Murray over there. And so Jamal Murray, of course, he has only one outlet pass option, and that's the Jokic, who's sitting like right on top of the key, right on top of the free throw line. So Jamal Murray picks it up, throws it over to Jokic, and so Alex Caruso rotates out of the paint, and as soon as that pass is coming in, he tips it out. And they did that 3 different times. Caruso had one of those steals. Carson Wallace had one of those steals. Lou Dort has one of those steals where they doubled somebody top of the key. As soon as they dish it out to Jokic, that smaller player comes
Damn.
in and they tip out that
Why
pass
why
every
why
single
didn't
time.
why didn't we sign Caruso and had him for the 23 finals, man?
And because I'm not, no, my bad. Not this Miami. Not, but anyways,
Big Miami.
that was like the name of this game. It was that the fact that the Thunder had an insane amount of rotations,
Thunder.
nonstop hustle,
It was not.
nonstop
It was not
switching,
playing with them boys.
and defensively, my thing with the Thunder is like there's a lot of teams like Miami functions like that where they have those like heavy, fast rotations. The thing with the Thunder is that
They have
almost every
unlimited
single
depth,
player,
bro.
every
Everybody
single
can play
player
defense on this
is
team,
elite defensively. It's insane.
or at
Almost
least or
every
at
single
least serviceable in a way where you're
yes,
not getting picked
high
on.
high serviceable
Yeah,
too.
so
High
where it's like no, I
serviceable.
mean like where you're not getting picked on. So there's nobody
Exactly.
to pick on.
So it's either
Yeah.
they're elite defensively or they're still not somebody that you can bully, and
Yeah.
that was the thing with and especially they're young. They're
Yeah,
very
and they
young.
have a lot of functional
Yes,
size where
and
even
so
if they're not big,
they're
you
running
still
up
can't
and
push
down the
them
court.
around.
I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Mm-hmm.
Shea played 36 minutes. Jalen Williams played 32. Holmgren played 28. Dorse only played 17. Same with Hartenstein. But Carson Wallace played 28. Caruso played 25. Aaron Wiggins played 20. So
Aaron Wiggins, the man who saved basketball, according to people.
so you have like 8 people playing at least like 17 minutes this entire game, just running around like nonstop, causing defensive havoc nonstop. And I mean, one thing I will point out, even though Aaron Gordon played, he was injured. I'm not sure how much of a difference he would have made. He was injured.
Yeah, even if he was
I
healthy,
can't find the quote, but he had a quote earlier
talking about
today
82 games.
where he said that he just couldn't sprint yesterday, like at all. He said he
Oh,
physically
for real?
could not sprint at all.
So why was
And
he
so
in
and he had he still had a serviceable
No,
game.
but why did they
For
let
his
him
injury.
play? Why did they let him play?
8 points, 11 rebounds.
Y'all gotta stop letting these players play, bro.
I completely agree. I
Do
completely
not
agree.
let him play. Like I understand,
But
but the thing is this. Let's say they win the game, right?
mhm.
What next series? What he's gonna do? You gonna have him play?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Like it's not like it's game 7 of the finals. That all
Yeah, but
right.
you still want to get to the conference finals because I mean Jokic is Jokic. You've seen the
Yeah,
magic
no.
that guy can do.
But I don't. But
But
I don't even know what.
most important
Yeah.
thing I think to note
Mhm.
from this game is I mean I'm wondering if the Thunder can repeat it because obviously you have more intention, more motivation because it's a game 7, win or go home.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Thunder can repeat it, but if the Thunder can keep up this absolutely smothering, nonstop switching defense, I think they will like far outmatch the Timberwolves. Because
Yeah.
I was talking to Levi about this earlier.
Mhm.
The series with the Timberwolves really depends on if Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle can get it going, if they can get
Yeah.
it working.
If they, especially if they're hitting from 3.
Mm-hmm.
If Ant can shoot threes the way I mean
Mhm.
hit them,
Yeah.
not shoot, hit them. If they can,
In
if he
fact,
can hit threes the way he's been hitting them the regular season. I'm sorry not to cut you off. Go ahead.
call me crazy.
Mhm.
I think it really depends on if Julius Randle
Oh no,
hits his
absolutely.
threes, especially.
But
I think this
I
game.
mean,
I think the series lives
I
and
think
dies
it's
on
like
Julius
you
Randle. Believe it or
need
not.
both of them in sync. But I do understand without Julius, the whole thing.
I
falls
think the
apart.
series lives and dies on Julius. And has had his ups and downs, but he has his teams to back it
He has
up.
a
And
floor. He
regardless,
still has a good floor
yeah.
where he's not going to fall off.
And defensively, he's still contributing, and offensively, he's still making enough shots.
He's an
to
extremely
contribute on the
competitive
board.
defender. That's the
He
thing
is.
that's really surprised me since he's been drafted.
He is.
I thought I didn't know he'd be that willing to be that
Yeah.
type of defender.
And
But
I'm glad because
he wants to
he has
wants to play defense. He
yeah.
has the build for
he
it.
has the build.
But
He
he
has
wants
the
to play defense. And I think that's the key.
intangibles.
It's not about defensive ability. It's more about defensive want. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because we've seen plays. Even people like to pick on Tyler. Oh, Tyler can't guard. Tyler can't. But you can tell when he actually wants to play defense. You've seen him make some good defensive plays. It was like, hold on. Even if he can't stop the person, he tips the ball out, gets the player out to get out of his hands. I remember there was one play he blocked DeMar DeRozan on a shot when he did the turnaround on a fake. That's the thing. And also you got to remember, they also have a lot of wings on the Timberwolves too.
They do.
Where it kind of could offset
But
the wings that OKC has.
my difference with
Mhm.
those wings is I think the wings on OKC are way more versatile than the wings on the Timberwolves because what we see with OKC is that I mean Jalen Williams was not having a good series. Is
Did
that
you see the memes it was doing to that man?
no? I didn't see that. Did you see what Shea said?
What did Shea?
They were in a press conference and the reporter asked, "How do you feel Jalen Williams played this series?" And Shea said, "Bad, really bad, like just straight up, just straight up." And I mean that's real.
There was a meme where it was like young boys going on tour, and they had the Jalen who had his tour, they had a shot.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
That joke was
Well, I don't think the wings that the Timberwolves have compared,
I ain't
especially
gonna
to
lie.
the wings
Hey,
that
hey, hey, they may have Shea Gilgeous Alexander, but we have Jaden
we get
McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. But I don't think the wings that the
True, true.
Timberwolves have are as good as the wings that the OKC Thunder have because what we see is that there's a lot of 3-and-D wings in the NBA. That's like very
Yeah,
common. That's like the most popular archetype, in fact.
the
But what
indubitable.
the difference with the Thunder is that those 3-and-D wings are also highly capable of cutting and dishing out
Yeah, but
easily.
no, but
And I'm not sure how much I see that with the
no, because
Timberwolves.
I know Jaden McDaniels can definitely do that.
I know he can cut,
He can pass. He can make a good read.
but
But maybe with Cal,
I
maybe
think the Thunder I think the players on the Thunder have
the IQ. You're
better
talking about,
IQ to
yeah.
make those
It's
reads.
not ridiculous to say that.
And
It's just
so,
we have to wait and see because no
mm,
IQ could change series
yeah,
series.
I,
You could see a player
lights
that
get bright.
keep his hands down, keep his head down, start passing the ball, making crazy passes.
Lights get bright.
Yeah. The
But
lights were. Hey, you know who else the lights were too bright for, guys? The Cavs. Yeah.
just last thing before we move on to covering the Cavs and the no, not the Cavs, the Pacers versus Knicks. I think
I got to get
the
my hit piece
series
on about Cavs.
lives or dies based on Julius Randle. If
Yes.
Julius Randle cannot hit his 3-point
And
shot,
also if Rudy
the series
Gobert
is
can
over.
kind of
Because
be
you know what
serviceable,
the Thunder are gonna do? Everybody, the Thunder,
they're
the
gonna make
entire team,
Julius
even
Randle
though they're
shoot.
smaller than Julius Randle,
Yeah.
they can switch and they can guard him up. Julius Randle has that size, but they will always
Yeah.
be
If he
able to
tries to go in
cover
that
him.
little post move,
No,
they'll double.
they're not. They will double
Yeah,
immediately,
they
and
will.
as soon as Julius Randle hits out for that pass, they're reading that passing lane easily.
Yeah.
Julius Randle will have no driving capabilities because he's gonna have to go up against Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, clogging the
Yeah.
paint, and not just that,
And because
players like Lou
They
Dortz.
don't have Cat anymore. Just sub out and
Mhm,
play at five to play five out
exactly.
anymore. So that's kind
Players
of
like
like
Lou
unless
Dortz,
they take that Nas
Jalen
Reed,
Williams,
Nas Reed.
are always players like Lou
Hmm.
Dortz, Jalen Williams. They're always going to crash the paint as well to try and mess it up. And Julius Randle is a great player. Don't get me wrong.
This playoffs, you need to play great.
I don't think he has the passing IQ to where when he gets 3 men around him clogging him, I don't think he's always going to make that right read.
Yeah.
He's not Luka, he's not Jokic, he's not LeBron. I think he's gonna pass it out to whoever
Or
he
even
feels is
Jimmy
the
Butler in
opiest,
2022.
and they're gonna read that pass, easily
Yeah,
intercept
they're
it.
gonna go in and intercept it.
And I
Definitely.
think that my thing is this series lives and dies based on the performance of Julius Randle. If Julius Randle does not perform up
Cavs.
to par, it will the series will be over because they're gonna target him. They're
Yeah.
gonna target him complete. Like Ant honestly is fine. Like you put one man on
Ant
him.
is gonna be
If
fine.
Ant goes off, Ant goes off. If Ant
Yeah.
doesn't go off, it doesn't matter. But you put one man on Ant, you have him being consistently guarded.
But you
As
know
long as
that
you have Holmgren
yeah,
in the paint.
you know that well he's gonna get punched on at least once this series.
Maybe
No, he's maybe more than
maybe so,
once.
but definitely not straight up. To be honest, not straight up. I don't think like
Uh,
If Holmgren is standing like
no,
face to Ant,
Ant might look that boy in the eye.
7-3, 7-2,
Ant might look that man in
7-3,
the eye and say, "Can you be the same animal
7-3.
but a different beast?" Just
But honestly, my thing is, I think the paint is gonna be clogged. The paint is gonna be
yeah,
completely
they're
clogged.
definitely gonna clog up the paint,
If Julius
which
Randle,
is why the 3-point shooting for
yes,
the
the
Timberwolves
Timberwolves
is
matters
gonna have to be
because they didn't have that against the Lakers. That's one thing.
no,
That's
they
one thing
did
very
they did
important.
have it against the Lakers.
No, there was a lot of games where they had abysmal shooting against.
No,
the
but I'm
Lakers.
talking about in general when it mattered, they did hit their threes. That's the thing what I'm
As
talking
a
about.
whole, no. To be honest, as a whole,
Because I remember
no.
the first game, them boys was hitting everything,
Okay, I
man.
can show you. Hold up.
Game one, and then I think I know what you're talking about because game five, or was it four? It was one of those games. It was one of the games in it
The
was
team
one of the
shot
games away.
against the Lakers. They shot 32%,
Oh Jesus!
which is
They just had, and that's
very much under league average.
yeah, because they'll in that game one probably inflated that.
And the
Probably.
Lakers actually shot better from three
Oh
than
Jesus!
the Timberwolves.
But I think I know what happened. It was just the straight up shooting all around for the Lakers. That was probably just
And
yeah.
I think the game is really going to live or die based on the performance of Julius
Yeah.
Randle. And so
He has to play smart
when we
basketball.
watch this series, I'm telling you, watch what you need to watch for is that the Thunder, if they play the right defensive rotations, of course, and the right defensive schemes, they're always going to make sure that Ant and Julius Randle are running into a double at all times
Yeah.
because those are the two main creators on the team. So
Yeah.
when Ant tries to drive right, he's gonna deal with a guard who's there to meet him like Lou Dortz or Jalen Williams, anybody. He's gonna deal with a guard who's there to meet him in the middle, And then not even that, if he somehow manages to slip past that double, he has to go up against Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren in the paint. And that guard is still going to be on him because he's not losing them per se.
No,
They're going to keep up with him. So
they're
he's
gonna go
always
around.
going to be in the paint. He's always going to be shooting
Yeah.
through traffic. And even in the mid range,
They're
he's
gonna try
always
to. Yeah,
there's
they're gonna go
always
over
going to
some of his
be that
ground.
double. And that's the same with Julius Randle
And
as
I
well. And
think no
Julius Randle does
matter.
not have the dribbling
Yeah,
capabilities that Ant has.
no, and I think that's where also a little bit of finesse comes in because if they're guarding you that tight, you can draw fouls.
Yeah, you can.
If they're guarding them that tight, they can draw fouls. I know Ant will because
And the
Ant.
Thunder are the Thunder are a very physical team as
Yeah,
well.
so especially they're gonna get some fouls called on them because that was what bailed Denver out on sometimes. They would play a little too physical defense.
Mhm.
That's why I try to tell especially people when it comes to these defensive teams. That's the thing that's so frustrating about the Heat sometimes. They be doing too much. Like chill. You got your man. He picked up the ball. Why are you still reaching?
But Mr. Levi, because he has beef with a certain person, we're not gonna name
Who do I have beef
a
with?
certain Knicks fan.
What's her name?
A certain Knicks fan.
What's her name?
I'm not gonna name.
What's her name?
I'm not
I can say her name.
I'm cool.
See, look, that's the problem. You cool with a lot of
Levi-
fake.
Levi not cool with Knicks fans.
I'm not cool with
I'm not
anybody.
cool with the Knicks fans either.
That's what I'm trying to say. So like, who you cool with? Who do you, as in the words of YG and Drake, who do you love, DJ?
I'm gonna let Mr. Levi deal with the.
Nah.
Mr. Levi is gonna cover the Knicks versus Pacers series, but I think
what the Helly Burton.
in my opinion, it is going to be a better series.
Oh, I think it's gonna be a good series.
I think it's gonna be a better series to watch than the Timberwolves versus.
I think this series is really gonna come down to the offense.
Oh, real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Timberwolves versus Thunder. We need to say.
Oh yeah.
How many games?
Series, I think it's 6-7.
Who?
I 6-7. I don't imagine. I don't think it'd be a short series. I'd be surprised if it was, would you be? You would also. Would you be
I'm
surprised?
expecting it to be in 6.
Yeah,
I'm taking
6 or 7. I wouldn't be surprised.
Thunder in 6.
Timberwolves in 7.
Okay.
But if the Thunder's won, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if either team won.
Honestly, I can't accurately.
I can't accurately predict that series
can't
because if one won, I would see it. If the other one won, I would see it.
After game 1, I think we might have like a better. Even after game 2, I think we might have a better idea.
Yeah, it depends. It depends, especially if certain teams up 2-0. That kind of be
6-7. I just bit right on that. I would. Okay. All right. Knicks Pacers.
Knicks Pacers. Okay. Knicks Pacers. Yeah, but the Knicks, their defense has been surprisingly well. Cause remember, they did not win against a lot of top 3 teams.
No, they didn't.
They didn't have.
In fact,
barely.
they had a really
terrible
bad
record
against 500.
Terrible.
teams.
Yeah, they had a terrible record against. Bro, they almost lost to us. But no, it was against what teams over 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure their record.
Yeah, go ahead and look at
stats.
stats.
That's not accurate.
Yeah, go back. Yeah, go back. Go back.
0-0 this season.
Yeah, go back because you can find on another website.
I'll find you something.
Yeah, but no, when it comes to the Knicks, their regular season was very up and down, extremely up and down. They were just
against all 50-win teams since 2003. The 2025 Knicks have the worst winning percentage, sitting at 15-23. So about
0.30,
40%.
That's about
40%. Yeah,
like I said, a lot of their wins, they just could not close games. They could not close games, which has surprisingly been different. And to be honest with you, I thought the Pistons were going to beat them.
I thought so too.
I thought the Pistons were going to beat them.
And the fact that it was a close game.
No, because you got to think about it. The Pistons were good. But my thing is DJ. You know what's crazy? If that call gets called the right way, the Celtics might be in the ECF right now. Because I don't know if the Pistons can apply the same pressure to the Celtics the way the Knicks did. Maybe they could have. Who knows? Man, shout out to Motor City, Cade.
I'm loving Cade.
I love Cade.
I think the Pistons are.
I love Asar. Don't love Amen though. You know what you did.
They're gonna be a problem.
Don't touch my white boy. Anyway, no, they're good. If either of them could remotely learn a jump shot, they're good. Period. If they get anywhere close, even a mid-range jump shot, just a jump shot, please.
I'm still taking the Pacers. I don't know. There's something about the Pacers.
No, I think Pacers win. I think Pacers win. Sure. Pacers. That the thing is about the Pacers
Halliburton has
is of course, Halliburton. But the thing about the Pacers is their offense. I don't know specific sets or anything, but their offense just from watching it has been so dynamic. Andrew Nimhard has been hitting shots and playing defense out of his
Andrew
mind.
Nemhard
And
has
what's the
been a
dude? And
star.
what's Neesmith? Neesmith has been playing great defense.
Nemhard and Neesmith have been
Nimhard has been playing great. See, like, and from watching the Pacers, I start to wonder, where did we go wrong, DJ? No, like, shout out to the Pacers though.
The Pacers have been averaging. I think this is important.
Yeah.
This playoffs, they've
Yeah,
been
11,
averaging 114 points per
14.
game, which leads, and they've also had the highest 3-point shooting apparently.
And the most important thing for them is their defense has rise to the level where it's needed to come for these games. Even though D Mitch went crazy, right?
Mhm.
In the last 40 seconds when it counted, they stomped them out to get a 2-0 lead in game 2. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That is important. They like Rick Carlisle got them boys on a go ahead, but Carlisle got them boys. Rick Carlisle got them boys on a thing. He about to turn. He about to have that boy on a dirt run, man. What? Because I really believe that the size and the versatility of the Pacers, I think especially because if they can play 5 out because of their personnel, they can really hurt. They can hurt the Knicks also because I think those Mitch minutes could hurt them on the perimeter.
I think
if you understand what I'm saying.
I think where the Pacers can win this series is because I just looked it up. In fact, they're pacing this series.
The Pacers are pacing
99 possessions per game, which is third amongst all playoff teams. I believe the other two teams are eliminated anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, they're first.
But then the Knicks are sitting at 95 possessions per game, which is a lot. I mean, 4 possessions doesn't seem like that. That's
no, but this NBA is
That's a lot.
They play a slower
99
game.
to the 95 is a lot slower. I think where the Pacers win, and this has been
Speed
their
them up.
offensive style
Speed
for
them
the
up.
past 3 years.
Yeah, just speed them
The
up.
Pacers really work well off of fast breaks. They
Yeah.
always prioritize fast breaks.
And also having someone like Halliburton in that fast break is really
Yes, because
important.
Halliburton has that.
Has
Halliburton has those
passing.
outlet passes.
Yes.
And so what the Pacers' biggest strength is really fast offense, and that is why they have so many possessions because they cause a turnover, they immediately go for a shot.
And when you play fast offense, you have a chance to draw a lot of fouls.
They kind of play they play that 7-second offense.
Yeah, they do kind of do that because you've noticed that. And they also one thing I like about them is they don't fall in love with the 3 too much. They just kind of if you get an open shot, shoot it. Don't worry about it.
They don't that's what I think the Pacers can win off of. They beat teams not because their defense is like super great or anything.
But it has been good.
Their defense has been good enough.
It's been good enough.
The way that they beat their teams is that they get non-stop shots off. They always get a shot.
And even when they get cold, they will find a way to start.
Honestly, I mean, I don't have the numbers for this, but there's a good chance that out of every team, the Pacers probably have the least amount of 24-second shot clock violations in the league.
Yeah.
Just because they are always going to get a shot off. They will not wait at all.
No. That's important. That's important because you always got and also their 3-point shooting. They shot like 50% on a few games in the playoffs. That's insane. Shooting 50% from 3.
They did.
They shot 50% from 3. And also that one game where they blew them out, was that game 4, 5, or 3? It was game 3. I think it was game 3 when they blew them out that bad, or was it game 4?
I think it was. I gotta find it.
It was Pacers home. No, I think it was 4 because they lost game 3, and game 4 killed them boys, man. I remember like halftime they were down by like 40 points. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that was crazy. But the one thing I do want to say about the Knicks is their defense. Their defense has been insane.
It was 4, game 4.
Yeah, game 4. No, I was talking about the Cavs series.
Oh, sorry.
Cavs series. Yeah, because Cavs series that's what I'm talking about. Because the Bucks, I kind of knew they were going to beat the Bucks.
Both teams 4-1. It was also
60-win team is crazy. You know, usually with Barry Jackson was having a ball on Twitter when the Cavs started losing because he was talking about D Mitch. Because they got mad at him for saying right now it's not worth trading Tyler and 3 firsts for D Mitch. And I was like, that's not a ridiculous take. And it's kind of right.
42% from 3 against the Cavs.
That's what I'm trying to say. And the Cavs are good. Yeah, the Cavs are a good defensive squad too. But also, But I
That's
think
really
I
bad.
one thing I do want to say about this is this: do you think D Mitch would be best as a complimentary star next to somebody else, or do you think that he can be a number one and it would work out?
He could be a number one.
But
He could be
what
number one.
type of
I'm
what
sorry.
type of
Maybe I'm moved by the 2020 bubble propaganda when it was
Mhm.
him versus Jamal Murray. But he can be a number one. He can 100% be a number one. I think
I
he
thought
can.
with me it's always like you need to have someone with him, like he 1A 1B type thing.
No, I think he needs. I think with a solid, I think with solid depth, he could be. Well, you know what? And that sucks because the Cavs do have solid depth.
That's what I'm trying to
Jared
say.
Allen, and I think honestly, I don't even think it's on D Mitch. D Mitch performed
No,
just
it wasn't
fine,
on D Mitch, but
and I
hey, a
think
narrative going narrative. You feel me?
I'm
Hmm.
not gonna spin a narrative against D Mitch
Oh,
because I do
I
think
don't
that
hate D
he
Mitch at all.
has the.
I think he has the tools to be a lot of
I
things.
think I think honestly he is a number one option, and his teammates really just
Be
didn't
selling.
play it to par, and
His teammates be selling. But
that's
also,
really the
I
best I
think
can
those
say.
Jazz teams. Who did he have on those Jazz teams to really help him out though?
Nobody.
Yeah, he used to. They used to make it far.
He averaged 30 this series this playoffs. He averaged 30, 29.6. He averaged
Wait, he averaged
30,
36 in 2020.
34.
What is that? Where did he average 36 points? What is that?
That was the bubble.
That was the bubble?
That was the
Oh my
bubble.
god, that was the
Which is
bubble.
that's what I and then 2021 he averaged 32, and that's what I'm saying. That I'm pretty sure 36 is one of the highest
You know what's
playoff
crazy?
averages ever.
Imagine if the Heat would have traded for him in 2020. You know what's crazy? Barry Jackson said the Jazz weren't interested in Hero. They said that he wasn't interested in Hero, but I wonder if that could have been true. I mean, if we could have gotten that,
Find out. Of course, Michael is top. But I want to find a single playoffs.
he has to be in
I
there somewhere.
think it's. I believe I could be wrong. I think it though. It is. Oh no, never mind. Michael Jordan averaged 43.
Jesus Christ.
Averaged 44.
That man was that man was putting up shots. He said, "Hey, we might a
D Mitch is 13 with
yeah."
when he averaged 36.29.
Hmm.
My goodness, Michael Jordan's on here so many times. This is insane. Wow.
That's why he's Michael Jordan.
We're not. I'm not spreading the Michael Jordan propaganda or anything.
You don't need to spread Michael Jordan propaganda.
1986.
He's Michael Jordan.
1986. Was a killer. Rick Barry and Jerry West, very underrated.
No. Oh, Rick
Go
Barry?
watch them.
No, Rick Barry. Because you know it's crazy. I forgot he went to UM.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was going there, I saw Rick Barry. I'm like, Barry went there? But no, Jerry West was
Oh, Rick
one of
Barry
them.
and Jerry West were demons. Never forget, Rick Barry once averaged 36.
No, Rick
36.
Barry is one of them ones. He won that chip, boy. He was
Mhm.
not playing with them boys.
But people didn't like him. He was the same as Jerry West, but he was mean.
not, yeah, he was mean.
He was mean.
He was
really
mean.
just
Jerry West didn't become a nice person until after he was kind of done. Yeah, because my uncle liked him. They had a good relationship.
shout out Levi's uncle. Shout out Jerry West.
No, I'm just saying
Shout out Jerry
they had a
West.
no, they had a relationship.
Rest in peace.
The
Rest in peace,
logo.
That's the goal right there.
But no, but yeah,
I'm falling in the rabbit hole. I'm not gonna
bro,
lie. I'm
gotta
looking
focus.
at
You gotta
Jerry West
focus.
averages.
That boy locked into Jerry.
I'm sorry, Rick Barry.
He's gonna talk to me.
Michael Jordan.
I'm just letting you guys know. Once we're
44.
done with this episode, we're gonna have a 45-minute conversation about Jerry West.
44.
He won. He was the only
Holy
person to win Finals MVP on losing teams. I think that
Holy
should be done more.
Holy moly. But
Because
yeah,
some of these dudes don't
back
deserve
to the
Finals
Pacers
MVP.
versus Knicks because I think we just went like a 5-minute tangent, just
Yep.
completely off. Back to the Pacers versus Knicks.
Yep.
The series really depends on the Pacers. Their offense depends on being fast paced. They always work off turnovers and getting off those shots as fast as possible.
And really, they need to stretch the floor because those Mitch minutes, if they can stretch the floor on those Mitch minutes, if we get him out the paint, I think that also helps your paint.
Target Mitch. Honestly,
Yeah.
they're gonna be targeting
Put that
Mitch
man in a
Robinson.
cycle. How do you feel about OG Anunoby Homecoming Redemption series? Obi Toppin coming back to.
You think Obi's gonna go off for a game?
I think one game. I think one game. I think one game they'll win. One game in the Garden, he'll win a game. Because I think about it, if they win in the Garden, I think that's serious.
Could this be
the Obi Toppin series?
I think this is gonna sound crazy to me. I don't even know. It doesn't matter who gets to the finals in the next round. I think the Knicks Pacers will honestly be the best series
Oh, for
of the
sure.
playoffs
But
by
I
far.
also think that if the Pacers win, because the Knicks, I don't know if the Knicks can really weather some of the storms of, especially if the Thunder come out.
I don't feel like the Knicks have it at all, to
But I
be
feel like the
honest.
Pacers, because of their
And I
defense,
think something really indicative of this
yeah,
is the fact that the Knicks, their record just not good at
no,
all. Their
not good,
record just
not good
not
record
good.
at all. Not good
Like
record.
against those 500 teams, what did I say? They were like 15 and 23, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the
15 and
boys in.
23.
I don't know what the boys
Just
in right
under
now.
40% win percentage under against 500 teams. So when they play good teams, they're not good. They're not good, and that's something
Yeah, I
to
don't
note
trust him. I don't trust them boys. No, I
because
don't
it's
trust them
easy.
boys.
It's easy to run up the score against easy teams. Like
Yeah.
that's not a matchup for you. But if you can't beat the good teams, that's
Plus,
indicative.
also,
And the Pacers are
I
one of those good
think
teams.
the thing is with this Brunson against the Thunder, I think would struggle. Not saying that he wouldn't
And
score.
against the Wolves, to be honest,
Yeah,
I don't think the Knicks can beat the Wolves or the
nah,
Thunder.
because I think especially the Thunder, because of the guard. I mean, not the guards, but that's switch heavy, getting switched on with larger dudes. That's gonna hurt him because that's the thing. That's why the okay, pause. But that's why the Pistons series was close because the
Because when a
defense.
man is banging on
Okay, bro, stop,
Charles Barkley,
stop.
well,
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, like that was a really big thing about the Pistons series was because they found ways to limit Brunson.
yeah.
That's the thing, and you gotta think
And
about that.
Brunson really lives off of those like Brunson really lives off of just like trying to bully his way into the paint and
And
use
get
his
free
size to
throws.
draw those fouls.
Get free throws. Yeah.
I don't think like because the Thunder and the Wolves have elite defensive players, they're not going to always give up those fouls, and they will like give Brunson a hard time, and they're
Yeah.
gonna get Brunson tired
Yeah.
out. I don't think the Knicks match up at
But
all against the
also, I think
Timberwolves or
the
the Thunder, and that is why I think Pacers in six.
yeah, Pacers in 6. I think at
Pacers in
most in 7. Now, Pacers in 5 or 4 would be funny. Because then I will be calling you know who you are. You know who you
In
are.
fact, we're gonna send this episode straight to
You're
you.
gonna send this episode straight to you.
Actually,
Mhm.
we're gonna wait. We're
You
gonna wait
never, you
till
weren't
after
even
the
born in New
series.
York. Like you weren't even born in New. Yeah, we're gonna wait till the series is over because we're front runners. Absolutely, yep, we're
Yes,
front
we are
runners.
front
We are
runners.
front
We are
runners.
front runners.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a Pacers in six, and
Hmm.
honestly, I don't think the Knicks have. I don't think the Knicks have the matchup like at
No,
all.
because I think the facts the Knicks got as far as they can is really good. But thing is this: I think Cat is gonna have to play some really good defense, and he has been playing better defense this playoffs. That's what I will say. Because people be dogging on Cat for not being good defensively, but he's been good. You know what I'm saying, DJ? He's been respectable. But if that defense falls off any bit from what he's been playing, and if he gets in foul trouble and Mitch has to play extended minutes in this series, that's gonna be the death of them. If you understand what I'm saying, because that takes away your offense, that takes away your spacing for offense, and that hurts your spacing on defense because you don't have you can't because say what you want about Cat, he can move way better on the perimeter than Mitch can.
He can.
Way better on the perimeter. He makes Mitch look. He makes what's his name make what Cat make that man look like no what
Biggest thing to point out
hmm
is that the Knicks live or die by half court offense.
yeah
Like when they get into the half court, they slow it down, and that's how they play. And a lot of
yeah
times, their offense is really just about finding
ISO
Cat
yeah
or
ISO
Brunson.
it's ISO
You know,
pass with the whoop and then
pass it to Brunson.
Brunson 7 seconds figure something out
Pass it to Cat.
yeah
Pass it to Cat. Pass it to
and
Brunson.
if
And
they
that is where
yeah
that again. That's where the Pacers are going to beat them because the Pacers they're
everybody
fine.
can score
They're fine running in transition.
yeah
They're
they're
just fine
fine
running
running
in
in transition
transition.
and they will speed them up
They will speed them
and
up,
that's the
and
thing
the
that's the
Knicks are
thing
not going to keep up with them in
and the Knicks are
transition
not
at
going to
all.
keep up with them because Tom Thibodeau is their coach. We don't have to really say too much about that.
Yes,
Tom Thibodeau is their
Tom
coach.
Thibodeau will run them into the ground.
Tom Thibodeau's running you into the ground. They've been playing extended minutes.
They will all
Remember
play.
Brunson? Remember Brunson was hurt in that Pistons series. If you remember some of those games, the game where they didn't get the call for them, the Pistons,
I'm
when
actually
Tim Hardaway Jr. got fouled, he was hurt.
I'm gonna try to find the minutes. I want to see how many minutes.
You can go ahead and look at the
Who
minutes.
has the most minutes this playoff so far? Because I imagine it's
Probably
gotta be
Jokic.
it's gotta be every single. I know, but then after that, it's
Yeah, it's
probably
probably
every
him.
single player on the.
Why don't you just press Control F and just press minutes?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna go with total minutes instead of
Yeah,
minutes.
go total minutes. Minutes per game is
Well,
kind
minutes
of.
per game would be more accurate. But
Oh dang, you played that many minutes, boy? OG and Anobi
no,
is right there.
it's actually
OG and Anobi
yeah.
is 5.
Okay.
OG
I
and
mean,
Anobi, Mikal
the
Bridges.
first four is Murray, Jokic, Braun, Gordon, so the Nuggets players.
Yeah,
But then
but now they're the
after
leader in minutes right
but then
now.
after that,
Hmm.
it's Anobi, Bridges, Brunson, Hart, Denver again, and then Karl Anthony Towns.
And wait, how much is it separated by in the minutes total minute category? Do
Total
you see?
minutes, between
It's not
like
that
20.
much. Yeah, they're
It's like
all separated by
15.
20, 15.
15.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
And I actually over the season, remember he plays them in the 40s too, which is kind of ridiculous. And this is one of those things, bro. The Pistons. This is why the Pistons were so good against them, the defensive personnel, and I think the Pacers have some players to throw at them. Nimhard, for example.
I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Ananobi's averaging 40 minutes per game this playoffs.
How long before that wears down, bro?
Mikal Bridges just under 40, 39.8.
40.
Brunson again just under 40, averaging 39. Josh Hart 37. In fact, let me just look up NYK. Let's see. Let's see what their starting five is averaging. And Anobi's averaging 40, Bridges 40, Brunson 39, Hart 37, Cat 36. That's their starting five.
Yeah, that's a.
That's
Mhm.
that's basically
Their starting five is gonna be running to the
their
ground,
top
but
four players are
yeah,
averaging, and then after that, they just switch out Robinson with
yeah.
somebody else a couple
But
times.
I think the only way they come out this series is if Bridges goes nuclear again.
If Bridges and Brunson
Because
go
it wouldn't even be
then I
Brunson.
think it's gonna.
Because Brunson, the defense is like, all right, we know Brunson's gonna get his.
It's inevitable, in my opinion, it's inevitably gonna happen where one of those Knicks players is gonna go nuclear.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, when that game runs down, and because I do think this is gonna be another 6 to 7 game series,
definitely.
even though more enjoyable watch than the Timberwolves versus
Because I think the games are
Thunder.
gonna be
My
closer.
bad.
I think the
But
games are gonna be
even
closer.
though this
Yeah,
is gonna be another 6 to 7 game series, what the difference is gonna be is that they're gonna be exhausted
yeah.
because
The
they are going to
Knicks.
be playing insane amount of
Yeah,
minutes.
because
Insane.
the surprising thing is their starters didn't for the Pacers. They played normal minutes. Yeah.
They
Hmm.
they do play normal minutes.
They play normal
In fact,
minutes.
let me look up the Pacers minutes right now because I don't see them. I don't even see them here. To be honest, would they come up as in IND probably?
Maybe.
Yeah, IND.
Yep. They're not.
Halliburton averaging 34, Nemhard averaging 33, Siakam averaging 32.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Do you like it's showing. It's showing. I think
So
when we get down to that 6 to 7 game series,
I think
the
the later, the
Pacers
more this series gets drawn out, the
mhm,
worse it is for the Knicks.
because the first 2 games even matchup in my opinion,
Yeah.
but the Pacers run up and down the court nonstop, super fast offense. They don't live in that half course offense like the Knicks. They run up and down nonstop,
They're
super
gonna shoot
fast, full
threes. They're
court
gonna make you.
offense.
They're gonna stretch the
And when
floor.
you get to Game 6,
Yep.
those Knicks players who had played way too many minutes are not going to be running up and down anymore. They're going to be
So
done.
and you gotta remember,
But
last year, they were up 2-0. The Knicks were up 2-0 against them and they lost.
mhm,
And in game 7 they got blown out because of injuries and all that stuff.
exactly.
And that might be the same
So
this game.
our final sayings: Pacers in. I'm saying 6. Pacers in 6,
I agree. Pacers 6.
and then
7 game series will be interesting though.
and then I can't call it, but what did I say? Did I say Thunder?
You said Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6. Yes, I'm going with Thunder in 6.
Timberwolves in 7.
Both series 6 to 7 game series, but
Anyway,
Pacers in 6, Thunder in 7. Put money on it, like $1 million. Unless Drake bets on it. If Drake bets on it, then you know what? Bet whatever the opposite is. Straight up. Bet whatever the opposite is. Go Panthers.
salute. Thank y'all for listening.